Hello, and welcome to another Daily Digest video. I am Ross Merriam, and today I've got a sort of spicy looking, if you can see it, control deck. Modern, not well known for having pure control decks, although the influx of Fatal Push has pushed the format to be more removal heavy, making attrition matchups or attrition decks a little bit better positioned. So trying out just straight blue-black, a lot of good removal, Ancestral Vision, some good Planeswalkers. Not sure how good these Ashioks are going to be, but we will try and see. This hand is, well, the issue is that it really has no interaction. I'm suspending an Ancestral on turn 1, I'm playing an Ashiok on turn 3, and hoping that both the Ashiok survives and I can minus it for a relevant permanent. And I just don't think that's good enough against most modern decks with a reasonable draw. So I'm going to mulligan this one. And this 6 is fantastic. Turn 1 Visions, turn 2 Spreading Seas, turn 3 Liliana, and we have a really great opening. Our opponent has kept, so we'll gladly keep this 6. And this is an awkward scry because game 1, I don't know what my opponent's playing. Damnation could be one of the best cards in my deck. It could be a complete blank. Given that we have a Liliana, I'm inclined to keep it and just ditch it to the Liliana if it's bad. So I don't want to miss out on the upside if my opponent's playing a creature deck. So I'm gonna leave it on the top. So we'll start with Visions. We'll get to draw that Damnation and Fatal Push and a land. Given that we have the Damnation, I don't think I really want the Fatal Push. I'm going to be curving Seas into Liliana, and then probably casting Damnation on 4 if my opponent has a reasonable board presence. The question is whether or not I want the 4th land, which is relevant for Damnation, but I think we have a good chance of drawing one anyway, and if the Damnation is bad, then I might not want the 4th land at all. So I'm going to bottom both. And we'll finally see what our opponent is up to. Somebody has changed the hotkeys. Blooming Marsh. Well, not sure which one of these two they're going to take with this Inquisition. We'll get a good idea of what their mana looks like. Yeah, taking Spreading Seas. So, oof. Well, second Damnation is not the best, but we will soldier on. This could also, taking Seas over Liliana could indicate another removal spell. Or another discard spell, right? And they can nab both, but... Okay, well that is actually great. So, man, what are... Yes and no are 3 and 4. So our opponent's a mana creature deck, which means our Damnations are very good. Question is whether or not I want to crack this on this fetch. And so it takes a land out of my deck, but it also takes a land from the bottom and puts it back in. So it doesn't actually affect my odds of drawing a land. So I might as well just save a life here. We'll get a Watery Grave. Excellent. 4th land is perfect. This does get a little awkward with this as to what I want to do with Liliana. I don't want to -2 because my opponent can sacrifice Birds of Paradise and then attack for 1 with Noble Hierarch, kill my Liliana. If I plus and discard Damnation, that is also awkward. It sort of telegraphs the second copy and 4th land as the last 2 cards of my hand. But is that still worthwhile? I could play Liliana and do nothing. My opponent is likely to attack it for 1, bring it to 2. Next turn I can discard whatever I draw and just back up this Liliana with multiple Damnations. And I kind of like that play, even though it's pretty counterintuitive. I think I'm actually just going to play Liliana and pass. And our opponent will probably be very confused, but that's okay. We do see the 1-point attack. And okay, they are. Ooh, wow, that was that was a great. Um, our opponent clearly is trying to play around this damnation. I guess. Oh yeah, they're gonna have a collected company here. That's actually pretty good. Um, hmm. What is the likelihood that my Jace survives if I play it here? Hmm. Collected company is definitely makes these damnations awkward. I want to get them to collected company, untap, and damnation them. If my Jace survives, it's pretty unlikely that they kill Jace. So I think what I'm going to do is minus my Liliana, make sure I get some value out of it. It'll just trade with a mana creature. Also, doing this now prevents them. It makes them sacrifice the noble instead of the bird. Oh wow! So they don't have collected company. If they did, they would have floated a mana, but they can't do that because they know I have damnation. So I don't know exactly what their hand is. They might have removal spells, but this Jace is going to be great. I'm just going to plus it. And that way this Noble Hierarch doesn't really do anything. And now we still have another Planeswalker in play and 2 Damnations in hand. And we should be in great shape. They don't have Collected Company. I'm not sure what our opponent is up to here. We'll see what they have. I mean, a bunch of Kitchen Finks and Voice of Resurgences would still be quite good. But I assume they would have played those earlier if they had them. Eternal Witness is fine. They can't Inquisition us here. Looks like they're just getting back. Yeah, okay, they got back the Inquisition. They know that one of our cards is Damnation, so this is, even from their position, the Inquisition here is risky. And now, I think it's just time to start minus doing this Jace and casting Damnations. If we find an Ancestral here, we can suspend it. And I don't think we need another land. Might as well just take the 2 cards. And we can sort of spew a Damnation here. And now we are incredibly far ahead. Might take us a little while to close this one out, but that's what control decks do. Fatal Push is also going to be very good against Voice of Resurgence in particular. It'll let us deal with the front half and then Damnation away the back half without threatening our Jace. Not the best value-wise, but at this point, keeping our Planeswalker in play is the most important. Ooh. Well, this Rune Snag gives us a insulation against Collected Company. Otherwise, plussing or minusing Jace would have been a bit of a question. But as is, I will now -2 again. And this is an interesting one. Not sure how they'll split it. I actually want the Ancestral, and the third Black Source is welcome. So I'm going to choose pile 2 again. I'll play land and suspend this. And now the writing is very much on the wall. Still no Collected Company. I guess they have Inquisition, which is the one card that makes me think they're not a Collected Company deck. But Eternal Witness strongly suggests that. So I'm a little unsure as to what's going on here. I did feature an Abzan deck a little while ago that had both of these cards. It was sort of an Abzan Value Town deck, had Tireless Tracker and some other things. Some other good news are our Tectonic Edges can turn on Revolt for these Fatal Pushes, which is kind of cute. But there's not much here I'm very scared of. So they're fetching up to land 6, so they could play a 4-mana spell through Rune Snag. A 4-mana Planeswalker, something like Sorin, Solemn Visitor, might be good. Genesis Wave for 3. Well, that seems like a juicy Rune Snag target, so... So our opponent is sort of a ramp deck, trying to value Genesis Wave, which is kind of cool for us to play against here with our control deck. Let's plus this Jace and see what the next threat is. Could have potentially tech edged a bunch here to make a future Genesis Wave worse. But honestly, I'm not even that scared of a Genesis Wave for 3. I'm more scared of Creature Lands, actually, even though I have these Fatal Pushes. Okay, well, this could be getting back the Genesis Wave. Might just get back Eternal Witness. Nope. Wants to get back Wave. Now I am more inclined to use these tech edges. So why don't I... No, am I? I just have Damnation to clean it up. Yeah, I think I'm just going to hold off and save these after I Damnation away the other Genesis Wave result, and I can save tech edges for the Fatal Pushes later. So, yeah. Get this Ancestral down 2, I believe. Ooh, a Spreading Seas. Sure, we can cast that one. How about... So if we Spreading Seas a Black Source, we can tech edge the other 2, I guess. And then Damnation away the birds, and that could be cool. But we're not going to tech edge right now, so maybe we will. Another Damnation. Well, this is all going to be very good. I don't really want to throw away my Jace here, so I'll just plus it. It can take 1 from Eternal Witness, and that's fine. Maybe my opponent hits a Noble Hierarch or something and deals an extra point. If he somehow turns this into 3 damage, then we have Tech Edge into Fatal Push. This looks like a Genesis Wave for 5? 4? I can't count. Sure. It's a fetch land, Vizier of the Remedies. This is a new card, isn't it? Okay, so he's a combo deck with this and the O2. That makes sense. It's got Genesis Wave to find it. They're both 2-drops. Devoted Druid with Vizier of Remedies. This doesn't even trigger, so we're just going to Damnation this entire thing away. And it's really not going to do much. Opponent will have 2 cards in hand. They did find another black source, so we can't take them entirely off black, presumably. But that is a reason to keep holding these Fatal Pushes, because that can disrupt the combo at instant speed should the need arise. Once again, I'm going to, well, I guess a little Serum Visions first. Another land, Ashiok, Liliana. I kind of like both of these. Why don't we... I want to take the Ashiok first, I think. So let's top. Might want to hold that land to discard to Liliana, so I'll think about that as I'm casting this Damnation. And sure. I think I just want to play the fetch. That way I can do a big Fatal Push, and we'll plus here. And just keep squeezing our opponent on resources, answering all their stuff, drawing some cards. Eventually we'll win the game. I guess we're about to draw 1,000,000 cards, so that'll be fun. Sure, Noble Hierarch. Cast it, please. Target moi. Mwahaha. Okay, so we can now. I have 3, 6, 8 mana. So maybe what I want to do is just play the 2 planeswalkers, discard this land to Liliana, hold up. I guess I can hold up fetch land and fatal push, I guess. But if I do that, I can't hold up both fatal pushes. I'm just trying to be hyper conservative here and not lose to the combo when I don't have to. But I guess even if my opponent would have to have a card to pitch, Collected Company into the 2 combo pieces to force fatal push, and then draw a Collected Company into the missing combo piece and something to do with infinite mana. So I guess I'm fine just casting my things. And Exile Zone. We have a Vizier of Remedies of our own. Perfect. So let's just cast some Planeswalkers, turn into a little Super Friends deck. Yeah, I'm just gonna plus, and I will discard this land. See what our opponent discards. They discarded a Fatal Push. Sure, that makes sense. Can plus this Jace to hold off Noble Hierarch and continue to pass the turn in a dominant position. This is a creature, okay. And let's continue hammering away at their black sources. Let's continue plussing Liliana. Opponent probably discard some more removal. Land, sure. Gonna plus this Ashiok, try to find something better. We had a Renegade Rallier, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Suspend this. And let's -2 Jace. Rune Snag counters for 4 now with 1 in the graveyard. And Genesis Wave is probably one of the few things I'm scared of. So I'll take pile 2. I'll play a Tar Pit. They get to attack for 1. That's kind of cool. Let me refresh myself on this Ashiok. It's -10 for ultimate. I don't even know where this is going, but I don't particularly care. Me. Got a damage in. Sure, I have enough mana. Let's just get rid of this on end step so I don't have to waste mana on my turn. Why not? When you have everything, you can sort of putz around. Sure, let's fetch so we can get Revolt on this Renegade Rallier. That'll be fun. Let's -3. I choose this one. We can get another Tech. Oh, we can get another Spreading Seas. I'm gonna target Spreading Seas. Now our opponent has to fetch in response to the trigger resolving. Otherwise, his fetch land is about to turn into an island. Click auras to attach them. Click object to attach to. Got him. Nice fetch land. Can't fetch it now. Sure, let's play this Serum Vision. So we can do whatever we want. We have everything. Ish. Bottom some lands. How about we plus this Liliana? I'll discard a land. They discard a Fatal Push, sure. And I guess I can plus this. Done. Still have everything. You have nothing. Control decks are fun. Oh, they have black mana again. How lucky. And they've had enough. I don't blame them. So, we're dealing with a creature-heavy deck with a bit of a combo. Can Pithing Needle Devoted Druid to stop it from untapping itself. That's kind of cool. And this Engineer Explosives is definitely going to be good. The graveyard stuff I don't think is going to be good. I don't think the Batter Skulls or Counter Spells are necessary. I think we're just well set up to be a control deck here. Collective Brutality seems unnecessary. Our opponent's pretty good against Spreading Seas. They have a bunch of mana creatures and a pretty stable mana base to begin with. I think I can reasonably cut some Spreading Seas. Maybe I want to cut the other two as well for these brutalities. I don't know. Having more removal seems like a good thing, and it can take a Genesis Wave that might be problematic. So I'll try out the brutalities too. Just cut all the seas. And no lands. That's not enough lands. A mulligan. 3 lands, that's more than enough lands. I'll keep. Magic's easy. And removal spell sounds good. I'll keep it on top. Now we can play this tapped and... Okay. Good chance they take the Liliana here. Regardless, I think I'm going to play Tarp at turn 1. Just wait on the visions if they leave me with it. Yeah, they do take Liliana. But we have another Planeswalker, and we have a removal spell for their turn 2 play, which is hopefully a Devoted Druid that we get to nab. Do I want to escalate Brutality? I don't think so. Even if I draw something like a land, the 4th land for Jace is important. Yeah, there's the Devoted Druid. I think I'm happy just trading 1 for 1. I can dig for another land with visions. I wouldn't want to flood. Maybe I'm being overly cautious. I'm gonna escalate because it's way more fun. Those two. Choose target opponent for that one. Choose target creature for that one. Pay mana. And let's discard the island. With Damnation and Fatal Push, I think holding more black mana is important. Oh man, they have a choke. Good thing we discarded this island. 4 non-island lands. Gotcha. Nice choke. Playing perfectly and getting rewarded. Didn't even pay attention to what else was in their hand. What do we got? Do I not get to see? Yeah, choke, Verdant Catacombs, and a Windswept Heath. So they have Windswept Heath, choke, X in their hand. Nice. Nice. We'll have to be wary of that for upcoming games, but for now we are very well set. Let's add blue. And another swamp. That's great. I'm going to leave the swamp on top and the Damnation below it, and we'll get to play Jace, have Damnation and a bunch of removal spells. This choke is basically a blank, and that's fine. We are once again in excellent shape. Don't have to fear Collected Company here, so I don't really care about the bird. We'll just sweep that up with the Damnation. And I don't really see how we lose from here. but we play on. As long as our opponent wants to play, we'll be here. They know where to find us. They've drawn another land. Perfect. Think I can reasonably start -2ing this. We have some fatal pushes against Collected Company. That was pretty good. Pretty good indeed. I'm actually just going to choose pile 1 rather than have to deal with this Liliana. I'll suspend. And sure, let's cast the Serum Visions. Another Damnation. I'm not really happy with either of these, but I'm not really unhappy. Rune Snag seems pretty poor with them on 6 mana, so let's bottom that. And I guess we can just bottom this land. I don't think the land's very good either. We'll get a little greedy here. We can afford to be. Just try to find something to close the game out. We have 1 Grave Titan. Maybe we want lands for that. You know, just suspended that, so that's on 4. Eternal Witness is pretty good. Probably getting back Genesis Wave. Yep. So now I have the option of Damnationing or Fatal Pushing something. I think I can just wait and Damnation after the Genesis Wave again. It's going to be for 3, maybe 4. I'm a little concerned about a Planeswalker getting put into play off of it. So maybe I should just Fatal Push the bird to stop it from being a 4. But that seems like such a spew. I'm just going to hold back. I haven't seen any indication of Planeswalkers. I'm just going to plus the Jace and come on. There we go. And now we can actually play Ashiok. And that should help us recover, pressure any Planeswalkers our opponent has. Have we hit anything good? A Duskwatch Recruiter and a Vizier. Recruiter's kind of cool. Yeah, Genesis Wave for 3, go for it. An expensive Rampant Growth for our opponent. This is attacking Ashiok, that's fine. And I'm still just not worried about any of their cards. This is a 2/1. I'm just going to start putting creatures into play. Oh, I could put this into play and then not play a spell and flip it. That is great. Why don't I'm just going to plus 1 more turn. I don't want to have to deal with a removal spell on Duskwatch Recruiter. We have plenty of cards in hand. I'll just start minusing Jace next turn. This is awesome. Immediately flip. Noble Hierarch is fine. Okay, I'm gonna want to pay 2 life for that Watery Grave because it doesn't untap, so I will keep that in mind. Is this a time to Damnation? It might be. I can still hold up Fatal Push for the combo. And I'm just ramping this Jace. I guess I don't really need to. Yeah, I'm just going to plus... Ooh, Eternal Witness and Renegade Rallier. That's nice. That is very nice. Very nice indeed. Yeah, I think we can just keep passing. It only has... I guess they can start attacking with the bird. I'll kill the bird if he tries to attack with it. Sure. I'll just ramp this Jace up and cast Grave Titan and some other card from their deck, maybe a Thoughtseize, just to protect the Grave Titan. Is this another Genesis wave? Oh, Renegade Rallier. Bringing back Devoted Druid, that's cool. I can respect that. Still a ways from comboing. Devoted Druid needs to not be summoning sick. And now that this is enough of a board presence that I've got a Damnation on my turn. Especially because this Ancestral is about to come off. So I'll probably have 2 mana untapped. Be able to hold up both Fatal Pushes, and man, once again, they are just buried. Oh man, we have another. Oh, this is kind of cool. Let's okay, so we're gonna crack this fetch. I wonder how many. I don't know exactly how many swamps are here. Oh man, we're out of swamps. Okay, well let's be careful not to use those unless we need them. Let's I guess we can attack for free. Attack you. But what we're gonna do is get a land back with Renegade Rallier. Yeah, I trade, unsurprisingly, suspecting the Damnation. Sweep your board. Uh-oh. Have I gotten a little too cavalier? Oh, they're just floating mana. That's fine. Let's -3. Man, we have so much cool stuff to do. I'm not sure we're gonna have time for it all. I'm gonna get back this Delta just so I have 2 black sources up in case I want to play 2 removal spells. And plus this Jace. I've already played a land. I have 7 cards in hand. Classic control dominance. Is this finally a collected company? 5 mana. Chord for 2. Uh-oh. They might be trying to combo. I don't really want them to activate this. I'm fine throwing away this land now. Let's just Fatal Push that. The choke finally did something. And yeah, that was sort of easy. Just sort of mushed my opponent because our deck was great and their deck. I don't know how much I like Genesis Wave as an enabler over a collected company. It's cool that your curve is low enough that with casting it for 2 and 3 you can reasonably hit, but you still need to hit the actual creatures in the top few cards of your deck, and it costs more mana. And it's not a combo you can execute immediately. If you Genesis Wave for 2, hit your 2 combo pieces, they're not dead. I guess it is better after you combo. Both Duskwatch Recruiter and Genesis Wave are mana sinks. So when you set up the combo, there are ways for you to actually win in addition to being value cards. That's the idea. But Duskwatch is probably enough. When you cast Collected Company, you can either find Eternal Witness to keep going or Duskwatch Recruiter to end the game. So I don't think you need to play Genesis Wave. I think you can reasonably play Collected Company, maybe add some other mana sink to the deck to give you more hits in the chain. But we were fortunate that unlike most company decks, they don't really have the sticky creatures. There were no Kitchen Finks, there were no Voice of Resurgences. So we were able to pretty easily land a Planeswalker under very little pressure, cast our removal spells, draw a bunch of cards, run our game plan, and it worked like a charm. So Hope you enjoyed seeing that one, and you can come back and see me on Monday. Next one's on Monday. Bye.